How do you feel coming into this week? You've won here twice before as an Open winner.
It's my favorite golf course in the world. I love this golf course, and just coming back here and seeing it and remembering the shots and remembering all the good times I've had here. The creativity that it takes and the discipline. People don't realize how much you need to shape the ball or the discipline it takes to play this golf course.
Could you win?
Absolutely.
You really believe that?
Absolutely.
You played well in the last competition you played a couple of weeks ago. You think you've cracked it? You feel like you've found the solution recently?
I wouldn't say it's found the solution. It's a process. It's an evolution. It's making subtle shifts, fine-tuning, and in getting the overall pattern different. And that takes time. And I'm starting to finally feel like I'm starting to get more consistent. The last round at Greenbrier was probably the best I've hit in probably a couple of years. And so you just keep building on it. When I know when I'm heading in the right direction, it's going to take still a tremendous amount of work and a lot of patience.
You'll get there.
I'll get there eventually.
You've had to suffer a little bit of late to sort of get to where you want. Is that how you'd put it?
Well, you have to. If you're making changes, you're gonna take probably a couple steps forward, a couple steps backwards before you make the giant leap forward. If you look at throughout my career when I've made swing changes, I've gone through that suffering period, and I've come out pretty good on the other side. But I think for me personally, to make change, you're going to have to take a couple steps back. But in the end, I've come out on the good side and become more consistent.
How tough has it been at times? I mean, how do you deal with playing worse than you would expect to play? Is it something you can deal with later on in the evening, you can forget about it, or do you have sleepless nights?
No, it's a little bit harder now because I just don't have as much time to devote to the game of golf, to practicing. My kids are the most important things in my life. And so with them, when I was younger and making swing changes, I could practice, 14 hours a day, it didn't matter. I didn't have any other responsibilities. Now with my kids, in my life, there are more responsibilities. As for some reason, we get older, we take on more responsibilities. But for me, my two kids were everything to me, and so I drop golf and drop everything I do, to be with them.
And does that help you? It puts perspective in your life, I guess. So when you see your world ranking not what it should be or could be, some would say, goodness, how does he deal with that? You're so used to winning in the past, and now it must be hard to deal with that. Is family the key to? Well,
it's putting in perspective what's really the most important thing. When I was younger, it was golf, but my kids are the most important thing in my life. I made that decision, with Elon to introduce kids to the world. And those are the most important things in our life. And I take that as a tremendous responsibility.
How long do you think you will play for going forward?
As far as I can feel like I'm competitive and I can win golf tournaments. I'm not going to play it forever. I'm not going to be one of those guys who plays at age 70 out there playing.
How do you feel about your body now?
My body's finally good. I'm just not as wiry and as whippy as I used to be. And 39 versus 19 like these kids are is totally different.
We've seen you giving this coaching clinic here today at St Andrews before the Open begins. What's the single most important piece of advice you can give a young golfer, do you think?
Well, it's, I've been in that situation before. I've been the young kid and playing with the pros, and it's, for me, I try and make it an environment so that they feel comfortable, and one in which we can foster conversations to help them get better. I want them to ask questions. Right in the bunker, good shot. This is a great sport in which you just pass on knowledge. We want to inspire the next generations. Now that's going to be a hell of an up and down. One of the kids, Ben, actually was here on the side of the green when I won in 05, sitting on his dad's shoulders. And so Does
that make you feel a bit old?
It does make me feel old. This is my 5th Open championship here. You're way too young. You remember Chariots of Fire?
Yeah.
The running movie?
Yeah.
Right there on that beach.
Yeah.
It also brings back so many great memories, but also to have, like a person like Ben who's, saw us play, at that age, and now he's out here playing, with us as and trying to become a pro, that's pretty cool.
A lot's made of how golf needs to remain as popular as it once was, attract new players. What advice would you give those who run the game to attract new players?
In order to attract more players, one I think that it's pretty expensive, but also one of the biggest deterrents for introduction into the game of golf, especially in the States, is that there's no more caddying program. It's the advent of the golf cart. So kids in the summertime don't carry good double bags or get introduced to the game of golf to make some side cash. So they never get privy to actually playing the golf. They never understand the game of golf. They never have a chance to hit a golf ball. And so golf has kind of diminished ever since the advent of the golf cart.
You were probably responsible for inspiring more kids to play the game, perhaps than any other golfer there's ever been. Do you worry that in the future there won't be the same inspiring golfers, perhaps, to the same level?
No. There are a lot of kids that are coming up. Golf's in great hands with Rory and Jordan. But I think that the neat thing is that golf has become much more athletic. Look at the guys' bodies now. They're fit, they're training, they've gotten bigger, stronger. We're getting athletes playing the game of golf.